Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 12, Episode 18, The Real Vikings of Orange County. So all the ladies have headed off to the Viking dinner that Lydia planned, all except Lydia and Peggy. Lydia stays behind because she feels bad for Peggy and she brought her to Iceland and all that. And the ladies go off in the bus and they're all dressed up. And basically this turns out to be like Iceland's version of medieval times. I'm not sure if medieval times is all across the country, if you guys know what I'm talking about. It is this chain of restaurants. You sit at these long benches and you eat like with your hands, turkey legs, and there's a jousting match going on and serving wenches come and bring you your ale. That's kind of what the whole gist of medieval times is. And this is Iceland's version of it. So as I said, Lydia stays behind and Peggy finally emerges from her room. She's been MIA for like 36 hours and she comes out and girl is armed with some ammunition on her phone. Peggy starts to tell Lydia the story of what happened the night before and she says, and after the shindig of drama. I started laughing out loud, the shindig of drama, until I realized, shindig of drama? I mean, it's not the worst description of what went down in Shannon's room that night. So Peggy starts telling Lydia about things that went on and that she left, and then she pulls out her phone and tells her that baby Aspen was crying for 10 minutes straight, and she recorded it on her phone. What was she trying to do? It is so bizarre to me, but Lydia's expression is showing that she's kind of freaked out by this. The other part that she recorded was Tamara and Kelly laughing real loud. This isn't proof that they were laughing at you, Peggy, although I'm sure they were. Just saying. I'm absolutely positive that they were laughing at you. Because the last thing Peggy said before she left Shannon's room that night was that she was going to have her husband call Kelly's husband. And Kelly was like, oh, okay, like I'm going to have my dad call your dad. Well, Peggy was offended because she had confided in Kelly earlier this season that her father recently passed away. All right. You know what? Kelly is a total jerk at times. I promise you that was not what she was thinking in her head. Oh, I know. I'm going to make fun of the fact that her dad is dead. No. Peggy is choosing to be extremely offended by that. But the part about the baby crying is just really bizarre to me because that has nothing to do with Peggy. You know, Lydia is listening to it and Lydia's like, well, where's Bridget? Peggy, I don't know. It's not my baby. Okay. But, and then she says, I'm not her mom. Let me try and say this line because it was so good. Peggy says, I don't know. I'm not her mom. A 35-year-old giraffe. I'm going to try this one more time. Okay. I don't know. I'm not her mom. A 35-year-old giraffe leaves her baby crying for 10 minutes. I think that was funny. Oh. Okay. I mean, she didn't leave her in a hot car for an hour while she went shopping. And then Lydia says, well, I'm sure the nanny was there. And Peggy's like, I don't know. Okay. Over at the restaurant, the ladies are enjoying themselves and they're singing and there's fighting and play acting going on all around them. This choir, this men's choir, was really good. And I will not even begin to attempt to pronounce it because it's like all those Nordic letters that are like two letters mashed together to make some weird symbol. And Tamara and Vicky are sitting next to each other and they're all chatty and talking and Shannon's across the table and Shannon says to the confession cam, I mean, if Tamara wants to be friends with Vicky, it's fine. It's fine. Every time she says it's fine, her voice gets a little higher. It's fine. Oh, sure, Shannon, we believe that you are perfectly okay with it. Yeah. And in the middle of all this stuff that's going on at this restaurant, Tamara keeps whispering to Vicky, tell Shannon you're sorry. Do it now. You owe her an apology. Tell her David doesn't beat her. Really, Tamara? You think this is the right time? What is she supposed to do? Shout across the table, David doesn't beat you. Sorry about that. Peggy changes her mind and she does decide to go. So they head over to the restaurant. And can we talk about Peggy's outfit for just 1 second? It's beautiful. She is so overdressed for this restaurant. She is in a floor-length gown with a matching cape. Her hair, Peggy's choice of hairstyle has always been, shall we say, somewhat dated. But what she's got going on tonight, well, it's hard to explain, and so I'm going to put like a picture of it up here so that when I'm talking about it, you can use this as your reference. It's like teased within an inch of its life and pulled back in like several thousand bobby pins, although that's kind of her normal go-to hairstyle, a whole mess of bobby pins in the back. But this is almost like a faux hawk. It is so high and it is out so far in the back. I'm not sure what she was going for there. So they get to the restaurant and the ladies are very happy to see the two of them, and they come and sit down, and Kelly comes over to apologize to Peggy. And Peggy is like, girl, hold my hoops. She is just coming in real hot, real fast. Kelly's like, I hope you're not uncomfortable around us. No, I'm comfortable wherever I go, she says. And Kelly's like, okay, I just wanted to say I was sorry. And Peggy goes, oh, because you are making an effort and I'm not, right? So Kelly just stops and walks out of the restaurant as per her instructions at anger management school. And the others are now just trying to talk to her. Peggy and Tamara now kind of get into something. And while Tamara's talking, Peggy's got her eyes looking down like under the table and she's messing around with her phone. And Tamara's like, could you stop looking at your phone for 2 seconds? But oh no, it's because Peggy wants to pull out her evidence again. And so what does Peggy do? She starts off with the baby crying again. Megan had nothing to do with any of this. Megan wasn't laughing at you. I don't know why she's so mad at Megan or coming after Megan. She says, your baby was crying really hard for 10 minutes. And Megan goes, did you time it? Apparently, Tamara knew about it too, and she goes, yeah, she's working on it. She's working on it she's timing the baby, and she's working on a schedule with the baby to try and train the baby to like self-soothe. It doesn't involve Peggy. That's it. Megan starts crying naturally. I don't blame her. And Peggy tries to backtrack and say that she's not implying that Megan is a bad mother. That's exactly what you're implying. Megan's really crying now. Peggy finally comes around to her side of the table, and she's genuinely trying to say, I didn't mean it. And Megan is like between sobs. Megan's going, maybe it was lost in translation. You're a little odd, and so maybe you didn't mean it. And to Megan's credit, and I don't give Megan credit very often, she's genuinely trying to see the positive and actually find a way to not blame Peggy for being a real jerk, because Peggy was a real jerk. The others are really just kind of going after Peggy now, and Peggy can't take it anymore, so she leaves. The next morning, this is the day everybody's leaving anyway, the morning they're packing and getting ready to go. The end of the show is just back in Orange County. Everybody's at home with their families. Peggy's talking to Deco and saying, I don't know why everybody's mad. I mean, everyone just kind of changed after Vicky got sick and I was attending to her. Oh yes, that's what got everybody mad, because you were attending to Vicky. Deco, oh, he loves his little Louboutins and he's wearing them again. It's so cute. Tamara goes with Shannon to find the results of her blood work, and she does have hormone imbalance issues. And so, maybe that's explaining her behavior this season a little bit, but probably not. Peggy and Vicky meet for lunch, and Vicky gives Peggy the fur headbands that all the ladies bought in Iceland. Only Vicky pulls it out of the bag and then puts it on her own head and says, yeah, we got this for you. Takes it off, hands it to her and says, enjoy. Thank you, I'll enjoy it after it's been on your head for some inexplicable reason. Shannon and David have another wonderful, loving scene where Shannon thinks there's something wrong with Archie, their dog, and she's like, what's wrong with him? When I was gone, did anybody take him out for walks? And David's like, well, you know me, dear. I just let the kids run wild. And she just looks at him. He's attempting humor. It's just at the most inopportune times. Also, he's just not very funny. And then he says, and I was working out the whole time. And Shannon just looks at him and she goes, okay. That's it for this week. Next week is the season finale. So you do not want to miss that. It's Megan's candle party. So come on, meet me back here Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up and comment down below. Bye-bye.